Hi, I'm Vinny DeMasi. I'm a professional guitar player in New York City. I also teach at the New York City Guitar School and write for Guitar Player magazine. And I'm here today on Culture Sonar to talk a little bit about what makes U2's guitarist, The Edge, sound so unique. Even if you don't know a lot about guitar playing or music, hopefully you'll get an idea of some of the cool things in his style. Now, one thing about The Edge is before he even plugs in, he's got something unique about his playing, and it's this right here. It's a pick from Germany, and it's called a Herdem. And what's unique about this pick is it has a little bumpy end that's used for gripping. Except The Edge doesn't use that end for gripping. He actually uses it to pluck the strings. And this gives his sound a really chimey, raspy tone. Let me demonstrate. If I play a riff like Sunday Bloody Sunday using the regular end of the pick, it sounds like this. Now I flip the pick over and I attack the strings edge style with the bumpy end, and it sounds more like this. And you hear a little raspiness to the sound. Something else that was really unique about The Edge's approach was around the time when U2 first started, that's the late 70s, a lot of guitarists were filling out their sound by playing what were called power chords. These are chords voiced on the lowest 2 or 3 strings. If you listen to like heavy metal or punk, you'll know the power chord sound. Now, Edge didn't use them all that often. Instead, he voiced a lot of his chords up on the top 3 strings. Same kind of approach with the aggressive picking, but a much different sound. It sounded more like this. Of course, that's the riff to I Will Follow. And again, it's played on the top 3 strings. Now, one final unique aspect to The Edge's sound is his use of guitar effects. In particular, that of an effect called a digital delay. What a digital delay does, it takes the note that you originally play, and then it repeats it a few milliseconds later. You can hear that repeat. Okay. Now, this was something that Les Paul had done using tape effects. But by the 80s, Edge was using a digital effect called a Korg SDD 3000. He still owns several dozen of those, and it's a key element of his sound. I'm not using one, but I'm using a similar device to get that sound. But what this allowed him to do was use notes that were digitally generated by the delay as a compositional tool. So he would play something like the intro to Streets Have No Name, where the streets have no name, and it would sound like this without the delay. And then you would kick on the digital delay that created the note a few milliseconds later, and it sounded like this. A big aspect of his sound. One final effect I'm going to talk about is something he created with Daniel Lanois and Brian Eno, who were really well known for coming up with unique sounds in the studio. That's an effect called the Shimmer. And what he would do is take the signal of his guitar, send one signal to the regular guitar amp, send another to another digital effect that was like an enhanced reverb, and then bring that second effect in gradually with a volume pedal. I'm going to do that. I'm going to start with the regular guitar sound, then I'm going to bring the shimmer sound in, and you're going to hear it sounds like this big angelic choir. It sounds really great. Here we go. Here's the shimmer. And those are some of the things that make The Edge sound like The Edge. I'm Vinny DeMasi, and this is Culture Sonar.